guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with those gorgeous frames that my daughter and I had fun making with our hot glue gun and the silicone molds. So this is them. They are dry now. Obviously we had gessoed over them and painted them, and one of them I think we just painted, so probably this one because I can't see any white from sort of gesso. So what I've got here, these are some of my vintage toppers and my bird toppers. And I thought we will just make some little framed pieces like this that we're going to use for actual toppers for journals, if you see what I mean. So what I'm going to do, this one, obviously this little rectangular frame, I'm just going to cut out this little bird, topper. Now, obviously I'm, you know, just trying to cut around it so that it's going to be the right size for the frame, but without having overhang from the frame, if that makes sense. So like that, so it kind of fits snugly in the frame like that. Okay, so that's that one. Let's take some more. So I had picked these out, you know, prior to coming on, so that I wasn't just zapping up everyone's time sort of choosing. So I've got this one here, which I thought looked rather nice against this flower here. So again, just going to kind of like, and just cut this out so it's a bit easier to handle. Just laying the frame just over the top, and then I can, you know, roughly gauge where to cut this to trim it around, you know, for roughly the size of the frame. Doesn't matter how tatty, you know, the cutting is, because obviously that's going to all be hidden and you're not going to see it. But doesn't that look gorgeous? So that's that one. Okay, and then the next one, let's do, I think I thought we would do that one maybe, or do we want to do that one? I think I thought that we would do that bird in the smaller frame, because obviously this smaller frame, you know, yeah, it needs a kind of smaller image. So yeah, let's do this one again, just so we've got some different looks. So let's just cut this one out here. Okay, like that. It just helps if you cut them smaller in the first place. It helps you kind of you know, when you're cutting them out, then, because you haven't got all that paper flopping around. So there we go, like that. Okay, like that. So, oh my goodness, doesn't that look gorgeous? And then the last one is this one. So again, I mean, if I had more time, I may have cut the frame out to try and preserve the frame, but to be honest, because I'm doing a video, I just need to, you know, get a bit of a move on. So I'm just being quite extravagant, not preserving the frames. Although this one I may be able to preserve the frame. I shall see. Oops. Might have just gone off at the last minute, who knows. Right, let's see. Okay, so I just need to trim this one down here on this side a bit. Okay. So as you can see, completely misshapen, but it doesn't matter at all. So what I'm going to do now is obviously glue the frames down onto the images. Now I'm just wondering, do we think it's going to be better to, oh, I'm not sure now. I was thinking, do we think it's better to hot glue the frame or to hot glue the image? I'm not quite sure. It's a bit tricky, this. Oh, I can't decide. I'm going to hot glue, I think, yeah, I think around the image. Now this is going to be a bit tricky, so I'm going to go around the very edge of here. Okay, now it doesn't matter too much if you don't end up, you know, gluing it 100%, because when you glue these down onto your topper pieces, you know, it's going to then secure the whole thing. But all we're trying to do at the moment is actually get our pictures adhered to the frames. Oh my goodness. Right, going forward, I'm going to use one of those little greaseproof circles that we had used when we made the frames, because otherwise my pieces are then getting stuck to the desk. So that also is not great. Right, there we go. But it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? The other reason why I'm kind of doing it on the picture rather than the frame is because the frames are made out of hot glue. So I don't want to remelt the frame, although that being said, I'm pretty sure it would be okay. Yeah, I don't think it would remelt the frame. Right, so this one again, going to just go around as carefully as I can. It is very hard going around right on the edge because obviously you've only got this tiny layer, or this tiny window. I don't know. Anyway, you've only got a tiny slither to put your glue around, so like that. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's so much better doing it on the greaseproof paper. Honestly, just these little tiny, you know, preparation things, they just make such a lot of difference to the use or the ease of making a project. Obviously, I've mucked this one up. I've got a little bit overhanging, but again, I mean, it probably doesn't really matter. By the time it's glued down, that really won't show. So there we go. Okay, the next one. So again, we'll do the same here. Wow, not looking too clever, is it? The weird shape that I've managed to cut this into. Okie dokie. Like that. Right. So pop that one down. Again, pop the frame down. Oh, like that. Oh my goodness, that is awful. Look at what I have done now. Yeah, right off the frame there. Oh my goodness, I thought that did look a little bit too big for the frame, but it's fine. You know, you can go back in and tidy it up a bit. So here, obviously, it's not really glued down brilliantly. I can just now squeeze a little bit of glue in there. Let's press that down there, like that. Okay. Okie dokie, so that's better, like that, looking good. And then the final one. Now I'm just wondering, and I don't know whether this will work or not, but I was planning on glossy accenting these, so I will definitely do that. But I've just had a thought as I was doing this, that I thought, actually, do you know what? I wonder whether I could even use a little bit of transparency film in between the frame and the image. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this down onto that transparency. So again, bit tricky here, but just going straight around the edge of the image. And you only need really a tiny little amount, because when we glue this down, it's going to be glued. So sorry, hopefully my son's in and he can answer the door. So then what we've got is, obviously we've glued it down onto the transparency. I know this is obviously tricky to see, but we can then cut it around like this. Okay, cut that off. And the reason why we don't have to worry so much about how well this is glued to the frame is because once we glue this down onto the topper, oops, it's all going to be glued down onto the topper, if you see what I mean. So both the paper and the frame will be glued down, and subsequently the transparency film, even if it's not, not 100% adhered onto here, it will be trapped between the frame and the image. Do you know, I love that, and I wish that I had thought to do that with all of them, because now I've got to go to the hassle of obviously glossy accenting these and waiting for it to dry. And to be honest, this has worked brilliantly. I don't know why I didn't really think of doing that before, but anyway. So we'll just pop that down like that. Oops. Go around. That's it. The dog's come up now to sit in here. Now she's been terrified off by the postman. Oh, she hasn't been terrified off. The postman's probably been terrified off by her, but there we go. So popping that down onto that transparency, and it honestly just looks like that's got glass now on there. Oh, I love that so much. So yes, definitely, if I were you, I would use a bit of transparency in there rather than glossy accents, only because it's going to obviously save you the time of filling these in with the glossy accents. So that being said, obviously that did not occur to me to do that. I wonder whether I could peel these off quickly. Let's just see. No, they're pretty well stuck down. So I'm going to go and glossy accent these. I'm not going to be doing that on camera. I'm just going to fill them in with glossy accents. Obviously I then need to wait for them to dry for, you know, quite a while, and then I will come back and we'll play around with these and make a couple of toppers from these. So I will see you shortly. Right, I'm back now. I've got all of these little ones that we did, and they're all dried now. So just to show you, this was that one that we did with that transparency film. I have to say this is definitely my best one. So I don't think the camera, unfortunately, is really kind of picking this up. But yeah, it definitely is my favourite. So if you're making any of these types of things, I would really recommend using the transparency film. As you can see, it's just kind of glued on at the back, along with, you know, the piece that we used as the topper. And it just works perfectly. I mean, that literally looks like gloss. So I absolutely love, love, love that. Now, the others I did obviously with the glossy accents. And as you can see, probably, they look okay. I mean, I'm not brilliant with glossy accents, so I have got one or two, what do you call them? You know, air bubbles in them. So just got a couple on that one, but you can't really see them too much, to be honest. So it's fine. But I mean, obviously the other bonus of using the transparency, I obviously didn't have to wait for that to dry. It was dried instantly. Whereas the glossy accents, obviously I kind of had to leave them to actually dry completely. But yeah, I mean, I like both. I think, you know, there's a place for both. I also quickly glossy accented these pieces that we also had done the other day. This one I'm going to go around like the edge with maybe some gold or something like that, or maybe even try and put some sort of trim around there. I'm not sure. This one I do quite like how it is. It looks, you know, it looks really nice. So yeah, really like those. So I thought we could make some toppers using these. So now the reason why I have said toppers as opposed to, you know, anything else really, is obviously because they're quite thick. So I'm just hopefully showing you from the side, and hopefully the camera's picking that up. This one not too thick, actually. It's quite flimsy. This one a bit thicker. This one, you know, yeah, probably reasonably thick, and this one also reasonably thick. So I think you could use these in a junk journal page. Let me just bring in actually a junk journal, whoops, that I'm in the middle of working on, and we can just see how that would be. So if I were just to put that in there, it's okay. It's not too bad, but I mean, it is a little bit on the thick side. So I think these are better to use as toppers really, rather than on the inside of your journal. But I mean, you could always use them as maybe like a paper clip or something, and that way they're completely movable, and you can put them onto a page where, you know, like you can position them if you've got like other thicker embellishments on there, and it would balance the page out. I hope that made sense. Didn't even make sense to my ears, but yeah, hopefully that did make sense. So I've got a bunch of topper, you know, fabrics here ready. I've glued them all on, and I've stitched around them all on the sewing machine. So they are ready now to kind of like decorate and, you know, yeah, decorate up. So I thought let's make just one or two using these. Now I've just got my cup of tea here, so I'm going to just have a quick sip. Okay, right, yummy. I do love a cup of tea. Right, so let's have a look and see what coloured pieces that we've got here. So I mean, that looks quite pretty on there. Oh, that looks quite pretty on there. Thing is, they're going to be one of those, aren't they, that they look good on everything, I suspect. So I might just even lay out 4 or 5 random bits, or maybe 5 or 6 random bits, and just see what looks good on each one, and then we can pick there and decide. So let's just have a quick look. I mean, that looks quite nice on the, oh my goodness, looks good on there, doesn't it? Oh, they are just those, oh my goodness, doesn't it look good on there? Right, it's between these two at the minute for this one. What do we think? That one or that one? That one, I think. Okay, so that's that one chosen. We've got this one. Looks quite nice on there. Oh, quite nice on there. I mean, maybe on here, because it's obviously got the blue. Yeah, maybe on there. Okay, then I've got this one. Oh, that looks lovely on there. Although this looks pretty nice on there as well. No, yeah, that one. Okay, and then the final one. Maybe that doesn't look great on any of those. Let me see what other ones I've got. I've got this one. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. It's weird. It kind of almost looks quite good on that one, which unexpected. Oh, I don't know now. Probably have to be going with the safe option, I think, just because I feel like I could regret it otherwise. So yeah, we'll stick with the safe option. So let's get started decorating these up. So obviously, as you can see, you know, they're completely random sizes and things like that. I haven't really kind of stuck to any, you know, any particular size or anything. I mean, this one's probably a little bit wide. I could perhaps take the edges down, but I'm not going to worry too much. So let's just see. I've got loads of bits and bobs laying around all over the desk. So I'm just going to see whether I could use anything that's actually laying around, because it's always good if you can actually just utilise things that are laying about, isn't it? I mean, that blue lace looks pretty striking. It depends, really. I mean, I quite liked this, which kind of keeps it all yeah, more coordinated, I guess. Or we could do that striking kind of like, wow, look at that contrast by adding the blue. I think I probably prefer it with the coordinated bits, if I'm truthful. So oops, yeah, something like that. Okay, let me just have a bit more of my tea. Okay. Let's have a look and see. Got some other lace here. I'm just literally picking things that are laying around. I'm not, you know, I'm not kind of worrying too much. Just going for anything that's laying around. If it's laying around, it's going to be used. Okay. Right. So do you know what? I might just get glue in these straight away, because sometimes I end up, you know, putting so many bits down that what happens is I move them and move them. And then, you know, it's almost like too much choice. You're spoilt for choice, and then it becomes very difficult to decide. In some ways, I find it easier, you know, like once things are actually stuck down, because it's then like, well, you know, I have to go with that now. It's already stuck in place. So let's put that one down there. Just going to cut this edge off. Yeah, I'm actually filming this a couple of weeks later, so I can't lie, it's not the next day. In fact, I was at risk of losing the pieces while they were drying, because yeah, a couple of weeks have passed by, and so they were actually at risk of getting lost. So I thought, oh, I'd best quickly do this video before they're actually buried in amongst other stuff, never to be found again. And that's so annoying, because then what happens is you find them, you know, randomly. You don't find them all at the same time. It's kind of like, oh, one day you might find this, and then another time you might find something completely, you know, completely different. Oh, my hot glue's not been on for that long, so of course it's not now wanting to come out just yet. So I'll have to go back in and glue that in a second. Let me just quickly finish my tea. Oh, that was a lovely cup of tea. My teas are always a bit hit and miss. Sometimes, you know, sometimes they're delicious, other times completely not great at all. So that one was a good one. Oh, this is annoying. No, it's not ready for squeezing out yet. So we're going to have that there. Now, what are we going to put with this? I've got some rosebuds I think would look very, very pretty. So hold on. Oops. Up on my shelf up high. So oh my goodness. Oops, not those colours, definitely not. Oh, that's very pretty. No, again, I thought, oh, let's go with the contrast and be really daring, but I mean, sometimes you can just be too daring and then it just looks ridiculous, doesn't it? You know, daring for daring's sake, and then what's the point? Because all that happens, you end up with something that you never are going to like or feel happy with. So yeah, not really worth being daring for daring's sake, if I'm truthful. Now, wondering if I could have a tassel or anything. Love to incorporate tassels if I can. And for me, toppers, that's the place, really, where I sort of, you know, incorporate tassels sometimes. Oh, that looks very pretty, doesn't it? Now, I'm wondering, do we want anything going up here? So, just got some more of that lace. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just have a little tiny bit of the lace there. So I wonder if this is squirting out yet or squeezing out yet. So, oh, come on. Oh, I think it was just beginning to come out then. Just sometimes when you twist the, you know, the hot glue stick around, it just seems to loosen it a bit. So yeah, let's just pop that on like that. Okay, and then here, let's just take this one here like that. Okie dokie. Right, looking good. Oops. Yeah, something like that I think looks really pretty, doesn't it? Just wondering whether we want to have any more gold, because we've got this gold here. Not sure what I've got that's gold, if I'm truthful. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got this. No, no, definitely not. I mean, sometimes you try things, don't you, because they're just laying around, and then the second you get them out, you think, oh gosh, definitely no. What was I thinking there? Could have one of our little hand-stitched ruffles. That doesn't look bad on there, does it? Let's just see. Quite like that, actually. So yeah, let's put this down like that. Okay. Right, this we're going to have. Are we going to have it down here over that lace a bit? Up there, probably up there a little bit. So right, so the tassel is kind of held in place, or it's, you know, staying in place anyway. So I won't worry too much about that. I'm just going to stick this down a little bit more. A bit more glue. Okay, right, let's put this up here. Right, oh, I hope that this is going to come out properly and not be a bit wimpy with how it's coming out. Okay, right, so good, it's really seeping out. So all over here. So we want to make sure it's really nicely glued down. Okay, like that. Press that down. And then press it in the middle as well. And that's another thing, is sometimes if you use hot glue with the glossy accents, it can almost like remelt the glossy accents a bit. It doesn't actually make it wet, but it makes it tacky. So if you press it with your finger, you can sometimes get like a little fingerprint in it. Luckily, it hasn't done that this time, but that's just something else to be a little bit aware of when you're using glossy accents, because that definitely, you know, it definitely has happened to me. And yeah, it's definitely something that, you know, can happen, which of course is, you know, very annoying, because it can really spoil the whole look. Now I'm just taking these leaves off to see whether they look better without the leaves. Yeah, I think they do, don't they? So let's pop that there. Okay. like that. Okie dokie, and this one. Well, that's quite pretty in there, isn't it? Oh, I'll do it in there. I also have got some other flowers, so let me just quickly have a look behind me. Find where they are. Oh, all of these, which I forgot about. Oh, I've got tiny butterflies. Forgot about those. I'm not sure that I want one of those. Got these gorgeous flowers. It's a little bit monstrous on there, isn't it? So probably don't want one of those. Got these little flowers. Quite pretty. What do you think? It's a bit white, isn't it, if I'm truthful? So yeah, probably not one of those actually. None of those things in that packet, obviously. Right, I've just got some more things here. Got some of these flowers, which I do love. So, okay. So yeah, these ones would be quite good on here. Now, up there, I think. So yeah. That one down. I mean, again, you know, because we're doing toppers, they can be as, you know, fancy and bulbous and, you know, lots of non-flat items on them as you like, because obviously they're going on the cover, so they don't have to be, you know, flat items like when you're making things for in the journal, which I just absolutely love. Okay. Let's put that flower on there. I went looking for gold things, didn't I, just now? I said, oh, it could do with some other gold things, and totally forgot that I said that. And I've not looked for anything else gold. I've just hunted around for flowers, really. But to be honest, these do look very pretty, don't they? Yeah, I am quite liking them. All these beautiful satin flowers. You know, this satin texture looks really good on here, doesn't it? So it's all quite rich and scrumptious with that gold frame as well. Just, yeah, really looks good. Now, do we want to have that in there or maybe on here? Maybe on there. Okay. Okay, looking good. And then do we want any kind of like pearly trim or anything like that? Let's just have a quick look here. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? I don't know whether that makes it look a little bit boxed in, having it like that. I think I probably prefer this down here, although I do feel like it needs something ivory up there. Not sure that's quite right either. It's hard to get the right thing sometimes, isn't it? Oh, that would look really pretty, except it's silver and obviously the frame is gold, so that's a bit of a shame. Got these tiny little gems. Oh, that's very gorgeous. I think I need something across here, like maybe some Diamantes or something, so let's just take these. Okay. Or actually, just before I stick that on, I'm thinking I have got some gems, which of course have got like gold inside, gold outsides, not insides, outsides. Which, to be honest, oh no, oh that's not bad actually. Something like that actually. Okay, let's put this across here. So that's just a hand stitched ruffles. We've made those in the mass making before. So by just popping that bling on, it just covers up all of my hand stitching. I mean, my stitching's not great. So, I mean, it didn't look appalling, but yeah, I mean, it's probably not the best. It looks better covered up, that's for sure. So this little gem, it just picks up some of the gold from here and obviously some of the green and things, you know, just in here and around here. So yeah, that looks pretty. I still am thinking it needs something on here. What do we think? Not sure what it needs. Oh, that's a bit of a shame that I haven't really got my ribbon embellishments to hand. I have got this one. See whether I've got another one just sat here, because if I have, something like that might be just ideal and just go perfectly with this. Hang on a second. Oops. I can't see anything. Oh gosh. I'm sure I'd bought a few over. Now, of course, I can't see them anywhere. Hang on. Oops. Right. Can't see those anywhere, would you believe? Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it, when you bring things and then can't find them. Yeah. Right, let me just have a look. See whether I've got any better colour matches than that one. So I've got some lace clusters and I've got my ribbon embellishments. So hold on. Try a pink one. Oh, I've got a pink with a blue here. I do know that probably would have been okay. It's probably a bit much, to be honest. Yeah, I think probably they're all a bit too much for that. That's quite nice. Oh, do you know, I'm going to use these, I think, on the next one. So yeah, we won't do that for the minute. Just got my lace clusters here. Just see whether we could have one of those. I'm trying to really cover up this yellow flower here in the corner. Can you tell? Not that there's anything particularly wrong with it, but yeah, if I could cover it up, I'd just prefer to, I think. So let's just check. Again, I'm not loving those green leaves on there. I get a little bit, you know, funny about things like that, you know, the green leaves and stuff. So I don't know why I do, but yeah, it just kind of bothers me. Okay, so I'm going to go for this lace cluster. So let's just pop that down. Oops. And I do have the lace clusters in my shop on my website at the moment. So if you're, you know, looking for anything like that, there should be some, I think, on there. And hopefully there might even be some topper packs where you get 2 toppers in each set The lace clusters, I think you get 10. So yeah, do go over and have a look. So that's that one. Now I'm just going to pull in a cover and just show you how that would look roughly on a cover. Not saying that this is the right cover, of course, I don't think it is, but I mean, already, doesn't that look gorgeous on there? And I personally don't think that really even goes with this particular cover, but it does look gorgeous, doesn't it? So yeah, absolutely scrumptious. And obviously the main focal point being that lovely frame. So that's that one. Let's do the other one. So, or another one. So let's do this green one, which will hopefully be, you know, pretty different looking to that first one. So let's have a look. Thinking some crochet lace. Yeah, let's see, what have I got here laying about beside me. I love it when I can just use rubbish that's just laying around beside me, or not necessarily rubbish. Let's not assume it's rubbish, but beautiful treasures that are laying around beside me. That's just always a bonus. So, right, okay. So we've got that. Okay. Oops. Let's just stretch that out a bit. Okay, right. So I'm just going to glue this down straight on here. Now I'm going to try and just, yeah, glue it straight down like that. Oh, that looks lovely already, doesn't it? It doesn't even look like it practically needs anything else. But yeah, we obviously will put other things on here. I'm thinking maybe something like this. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look gorgeous? Absolutely love it. So let's just see. Again, just, you know, pulling in little scraps and things that are laying about. So I've got this. Yeah, so let's just quickly take this and glue this down a bit more because it's annoying me where it keeps popping up. So like that. Okay. And this. So I'll just quickly glue this from this side. Okay. Oops. My goodness. Oh, hot on my finger. Really hot. Oh dear. I obviously put my finger like full on into the glue and that was really hot. Yeah, way hotter than I'd expected, so not good. Could have that at the top actually. I mean, that's a different look, isn't it? And not really considered putting it at the top, but to be honest, maybe it looks quite good there. Just wondering whether this needs to be more in the middle. Oh, or even at the side, like that maybe. What do we think to that? I'm just going to check that that's the one that I want. Got a couple of different ones. I mean, they're not much different, to be honest, but yeah, just slightly different. Oops. I think maybe that one actually. I mean, like I say, they're hardly different at all, but you know, just sometimes those slight differences, they are, you know, they are worth noting, aren't they? Right, so we've got that. Let's just see what else we've got. I see some other lace here. Oh, is that attached to something? No, it's not. Let's just take this down. Okay. Right. Oops. Oh, loving how that looks. That's very nice. Right, okay. So, yeah, let's pop some glue down there. Just pop this one down like that. Okay. Yeah, like that, I think. That looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So, yeah, let's pop this one on. So again, plenty of glue, and you want it on the frame and obviously the you know, the picture. And then, you know, that's going to be how it's properly glued down. This is the one with the transparency film. So, yeah, I haven't got to be concerned about melting the glossy accents or anything like that. It's the transparency on that one, so it's all fine. Just checking that I definitely want it at the bottom. I mean, to be honest, I do quite like it. Oh, I like it in all the places, to be honest. Yeah, and again, I have got these ribbon embellishments, also packs of those in my shop on my website. So, yeah. You might like those as well. Now, just wondering if I got any of these little flowers in brown. No, I don't think I have. Oh, I've got orange ones actually. Because, I mean, that flower's orange, so I'm just thinking maybe the orange would look quite pretty. Let's just check. Right, I might glue this down here. Because, again, just like when I said it just now, I don't want to have all that choice, because all the time that I can keep moving it about, it just throws me off, you know, it's too much choice. So, yeah, let's just pop this down here like that. Okay, let's have a look. Well, they're rather nice, aren't they? Now, actually, I've also got, remembered, also got those other flowers, like that big pink one that we used. Got a big one here in brown. So I love using these flowers on toppers. They are just scrumptious, aren't they? Maybe something like that. Yeah, that's rather pretty, isn't it? Oh, just before I go for that, I'm just going to check. Oh, I don't know now. It's probably a bit too bright. What do we think? Oh, I wish that I was live and I could hear you guys and you could tell me which one that you like best. Do you like that, you know, darker sort of colour, or do you like the pale colour? Oh, it's really hard to say. Do you know, I actually now I'm thinking maybe this colour. It's quite tough because, to be honest, they're both really gorgeous, aren't they? But yeah, maybe this colour is just calling out to me slightly more. So I'm going to glue this little bit of ribbon down, just because this flower is going to sit slightly over that ribbon. And I don't want it kind of moving about, so like that. Okay, like that. Okie dokie. Looking pretty gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, pretty gorgeous, I think, so far. Now, do we want to have any lace coming out underneath that or not? Let's just see. No, I don't think it needs that. Let's just double check. Just check this way. I mean, I do quite like that, to be honest. So yeah, perhaps I will just put that down there. So again, just quickly pop some glue here like that. It just makes a bit more of it. This was quite a smallish topper compared to the other one. So by just putting a bit of lace on at the back, it just kind of makes a little bit more of it. So there we go, like that. Okay, what do we think? Do we think it needs anything else? I did have a brown bow in here. Not saying it needs it, but just because it's there, I'm thinking, oh, should we try it? Shall we just try that? You know, just if it's there, you might as well try it out, mightn't you? So, yeah, let's just pop that down there. Might be getting a bit too cluttered now, if I'm truthful. Yeah. Well, maybe it looks quite nice up in the corner, although then I feel like I've got lots of things going on, which is a bit weird. So perhaps we'll leave that one like that. So again, let me just pull in that journal to show you how that would look on the cover. And again, I'm not suggesting that this is the right journal for this, but oh my goodness, doesn't that look so yummy? And that's the beauty of toppers. And I know I've talked about this before. Every time that I've made toppers, I would say, pretty much every topper looks good on every cover. I mean, obviously some are better on some covers than others, but I mean, as you can see, you know, they actually look pretty good on whatever cover. So you can really kind of mix and match them and just, you know, really create a head, and they're all going to be pretty interchangeable, I would say. So yeah, they're really gorgeous, aren't they? So that's that one, and this one obviously like that. So yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they? And yeah, I think those frames just really add a nice touch to the toppers that otherwise, you know, we'd have like maybe a paper item or something like this. This just adds a little bit more dimension and just makes them look a bit different. My top tip, like I say, would be use the transparency. I think that was definitely the better thing to use, partly because, like I say, that's just on there now. Didn't have to wait for it to dry like the glossy accents. Haven't got the air bubbles. And when you glue it down, you don't have to risk, you know, possibly getting a fingerprint or anything in it. So, yeah, I really hope that you like them, and hopefully you feel inspired. Maybe you've got some, you know, silicone molds or something like that you could make something similar. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a super fun time making some toppers and things with your frames and your silicone pieces, your raised pieces basically. So thank you so much. I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.